Hey y'all, it is New York part 2 and we're going to see Hamilton. So yes, before we get there, let me just tell y'all how we started today. And I went to the gym first, and after that I was quite hungry and they had a great buffet at our hotel. So we decided to take advantage of that. And the hotel we stayed in offered this buffet. It did not come with the hotel room, so you had to pay extra $20, and it was worth it. I could not believe that they had so many options for me, whether it was turkey, seafood, or I don't eat dairy either, so I was so glad to eat a full buffet of all type of food that I can actually eat. But I decided to get waffles, as you'll see, with some egg and sausage. We just gathered at the table. The food was lovely. I was very impressed, and we really had to fuel up because we had a long day ahead of us. After breakfast, we went to the museum, and this is the American Museum of Natural History. They have lots of fossils and things like that. And there were many other exhibits like for NASA or space and African history and Hispanic history. It just everything. It was there, and if you get a chance to, I would definitely recommend that you check this one out. So of course there were lots of sayings. I'll capture some of it throughout, and you could just pause it if you want to read them. But it was very informative. I learned a lot, especially in the African exhibit. So this is me here standing in line. Although it seemed like they have a lot of people, we did not wait long. But yeah, so I had to capture some of these mainly for my sons, but it was also good to capture for myself. And yes, when we walked in, there was the elephants and all of these desert animals. Some of them were from Africa, some were from other countries. And so I realized that I didn't know a lot of the proper names for these animals, and some I don't think I ever seen in my life. So I think that was good to learn and to see up close and read everything about them. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm one of the people who like to read. So I have to take hours really at a museum. We didn't stay as long as we could have because we had to go see Hamilton. But yeah, don't come with me and don't invite me to no museum if you're not gonna read, okay? Because I like to stand and read and learn. So I'm just like that. Some things I might skim through, but other things I didn't have time to read. So I took a picture, and on the plane I was reading everything that I didn't have time to read there. So that's my little strategy, and I like to just know things, so when I participate in different conversations, I can, be in the mix instead of just sitting there looking crazy. So yeah, and not just that, I'm just a nerd at heart, really. But yeah, these animals were pretty cool to see, and I love how they had everything inside of these exhibits. A lot of the times when you see things, you see pictures or some models of the animals, but these were very detailed in their habitat, and a lot of it told a story. So you will see some of these animals with their babies, feeding, or just other animals around. It just looks so real. And that's one thing I love how they did with this particular museum. I would give it an A+ for sure. And I would definitely love to go back. I think different exhibits might change just a few things, maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. But I love that part right there where the zebra was just feeding. It's just beautiful, guys. Just so beautiful. And yes, one of my favorite animals. Well, I just love their skin. I just think giraffe skin is just beautiful. And yeah, so now we moved on from that exhibit to the mammals, I think it was, insects. And all of these bugs were so amazing to see, like in portrait form. So I was taking pictures of the signs that said who the photographer or the artist were, so I can look at some of their other work, because I just want to see it. And of course they had prices by some of those pictures, and I was like, oh my goodness. They were high, but so well worth it. Y'all know me, I'm trying to get pictures so I can actually get a picture and put on my wall, get it printed out. But yeah, that was my little sister. But yeah, this is us guys going to the Big Bang exhibit, and it was okay, I guess. I guess I'd be more critical of stuff like that, but this part is really for Josiah again because he loves all things space and he wants to be an aerospace engineer. At least that's what he's saying right now at the age of 12. And he loves coding, and he's done public speaking contest, which he won 3rd place on the Big Bang, and he loved all things science. So this was pretty cool. I wish I could have recorded while we were in there, but they told us that we couldn't. No phones, no cameras or anything like that, so we had to put it away. But it was cool. I thought that they were going to say something, prove something, do something, but it just really left you with your own thoughts, and I was like, what a waste of time. But it was pretty cool to see the technology that they use to I guess talk about the Big Bang. So yeah, and all of these other pictures about space, mainly for the boys, but yeah, it's good for you all to see now. And then we walked into another exhibit, and this one was for rocks. So all type of rocks, how they form. They had rocks about lava, they had things about some things about space, the moon, and it was just really interesting to see all of especially the bigger rocks, and how over time they change and they form or disintegrate, however they do it. And yeah, I just have always loved, I forgot what it's called, the big black rock right there. And I love seeing them. I just love seeing them no matter where I go. And if I'm crossing a train track or something, if I see one that looks like that, I'm going to pick it up. I don't know. I have always been in love with those type of rocks. So yeah, this exhibit was pretty cool. I have to bring the boys back here because I think they will love it even more than we did. So that was some type of machine that you could use to do something. There were different rocks that we can actually touch and just get a feel for it, the texture. And I just can't believe that some of them were like so huge like that. But yeah, I'm telling y'all, this is just the museum to be at. You will learn so much. And there's also things for the kids that they can do. So they have some hands-on activities, all type of stuff for adults too, but the kids will probably love it. You can tell that it's catered for them some, but to my surprise, the adults were over there having just as much fun and learning as well. So yes, and I would love to see more Black people go to these type of museums because we were not represented in a high number when we went, but it was all good. I mean, I was glad that we were there. So yeah. And now we're just moving on to the climate change and all of these. And it was so informative, y'all. All of that was pretty cool. And after we left there, we went to the NASA shop, and that is where I bought my boys a souvenir. They had all type of cool stuff. I was like, man, I just need $1,000 in this store and they'll be able to get all of the things that they want. So yeah, I bought them something that they can build with. But then it was time to move on to the African exhibit. And this one right here was very impressive. They did a great job in this one as well. And I must say about this exhibit, I learned a lot about the women. Oh my goodness, the culture of the women in Africa in different countries and how they worked and supported their men. And man, it's so much different from how we live here in the US, and they take pride in that. Now, that was good, but the parts that I did not like I know you read about, you see the sorcerers here, the initiations, and all type of their spiritual side was very almost like disappointing. But I know they have all type of ancestral beliefs, but it just, after a while, I just had to stop reading it because I started to boil inside, to be honest, because I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so wrong. This is so demonic. This is not right. But yeah, they also had these costumes and said what they meant and what they represented. And I already knew it from, doing African dance 18 years. And I knew a lot about the African culture, honestly, but they wanted to detail and they did not hold back with telling the root of everything that they believe. They talked about witchcraft and ancestors being like gods. And if I'm honest, the last few months before I hurt my ankle, the Lord was just dealing with me about African dance. And some of these things had already come to my spirit. And I know that I won't be returning after the 18 years. I had a great run, and I'm just going to leave that in the past where it is, and I'm going to move on. But now we're at this exhibit, and this is where you'll see all the fossils of all sorts, and it was very intriguing to see. And for some of it, I was like, ew, what is this? What is that? But it was all good. It was good to learn about these as well. So, of course, I could never even say some of the names of these things here, but I just thought that it'll be good to capture them, show it to the boys, and just remember for my own good. So I'm just going to let some music play here so you guys can enjoy. All right, y'all, that exhibit was over, and yes, that was enough of that. So now we are going to get something to eat. My little sister recommended this restaurant. She has been raving about it, but unfortunately when we got there, it was closed. So he's taking us to another restaurant that he says is really good, and it really was. So that's where we're going now, but we're just getting some views of the city. And as you can see, all of their stores here, The streets, like I said, I feel like something is always going on, or right now it wasn't too crowded, but just a little later we saw more people up and about. So yeah, I did like New York. I thought that it was pretty similar to New Orleans in many ways, but on a larger scale. Definitely had more shops and things to do. But yeah, lots of restaurants like New Orleans, and just the vibes. Not sure if I mentioned this, but now we are in Harlem, so we're starting to see a lot of restaurants cater to blacks, and it was good to see that many black people as we continue to ride down the street. And it was just cool. We pulled up to the restaurant and we already knew it's like, this is gonna be so good. And the food did not disappoint. And as soon as we walked in, y'all, it just felt so much like at home. And I don't mean New Orleans, but I just mean like a place where you feel comfortable, where there's peace and where you just fit in, you know. So basically, it felt like I was with my family, with my aunts and uncles, and the music was so good, whatever playlist that they had going on. But we were just looking at menus, getting ready to order, and they really had reasonable prices. At least I thought so. So I just decided to go with the turkey burger and the fries. And before you know it, it came out. And I can't remember what my sister had, but she said it was delicious. I know it was like some beans, rice, I think plantains, and something else. And my sister-in-law had something similar to me. I think hers had fish or shrimp in it. And yeah, and everybody else enjoyed their food too. So yeah, now that that is over, we're outside waiting for another Uber. Just have your money ready for Ubers, okay, if you come to New York. And yeah, as you saw, the 99-cent store, all of the stores that we are familiar with here. So it's not like we're out of the country, but I know a lot of people ask me about the stores. But yeah, there are stores we have and stores we don't have. So on every corner, you're going to see something though. So you can see there is a CVS, there is a UPS, and other clips. I think the last clip you saw Microsoft, or so yeah. And I had to catch like the hair braiding shops. There were a few of those just on the streets, and we stopped in to get something to wear to Hamilton. My sister-in-law, we went in there, but she realized she had a dress in her suitcase, so that was cool. We didn't really find anything in that TJ Maxx anyway. So yeah, we just continued to tour a little. We wanted to do a little shopping. This was our quick shopping day, and that was pretty cool. And just to see the architecture on the streets down in Harlem. I think we went to the SOHO District. So if you ever in New York, just look it up, and you would love it. You will do a lot of shopping there. Just make sure you have enough money to shop. And it's funny that the name of that street was Canal Street, just like in New Orleans. So yeah, I don't know what was going on across the street right here where my dad and sisters were shopping, but I think they said it was a physical altercation between a man and a woman, and so they had police and everybody farming around, and people were looking like across the street and everything to see what was going on. But I am the type that would just leave from the scene if something is happening. But yeah, the police had everything on lock. But now it's time to go back to the hotel to get ready for Hamilton.
How many times you press play?
You ain't gonna believe us when we say the elevator.
I am not throwing away my shot. Look at my beautiful sisters.
Okay, y'all, like I am so excited at this point. I can't hardly sit down. When I saw the stage, I just could not wait for the show to begin. And so even though we were rushing, thinking we were going to be a little late, we made it on time. And so I had time to take a few pictures with the family. And, you know, I'm just bubbling inside. I'm just so excited, as you can see by my smile. And I'm just trying to record things because, you know, you can't record during the show. But oh my goodness, it was so beautiful in there. I don't know if you ever heard of the Richard Rogers Theater, but of course it's one of the most famous ones. And I just couldn't believe that I actually had a seat there. And being here just inspired me to do more film or theater and maybe take some acting classes because I want to be on that stage one day. I just have to. You cannot go to Broadway as an actor, actress, or somebody who love theater and not want to be on the stage. So yes, this was the end of it. This was the cast. They did such an amazing job. Of course, the standing ovation just kept going and going. And the person who played Aaron Burr, him right there, that was his last night. So they really had, a good standing ovation for him. And the cast honored him because the actual Aaron Burr, who is Leslie Odom Jr., will be coming back. We missed him by 2 days. But yeah, you could tell that they're going to miss that guy. And I do follow all of them who played these parts on Instagram now. And yeah, I just like to see what they'll be doing in upcoming shows. But oh my goodness, guys, it was just beautiful. Just beautiful. And I cannot wait to go back to Broadway to see other ones. And here's Leslie Odom Jr. closing out his first night back on Broadway. Although we missed him, I just wanted to just go and see how well he did on his social media pages. So, of course, I wish I could see him, but I was so thankful for this opportunity. Now, y'all know I had to go downstairs to the merch store to get some souvenirs to take with me. And when I went to the bathroom, my dad had surprised me by buying a hat that he saw me looking at. So that was pretty cool. Thank you, Daddy, and thank you for this trip. And he also gave me a Hamilton cup. So I was a happy camper. Here are just some of our memories. And y'all, this is definitely one for the books. This is a trip that I will never forget. And I'm just thankful to be with my sisters in a position to go. And now that the boys are older, I can experience more things and more of my dreams will be coming true. So I just thank you for watching. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment, and share if you would like to. After I bought some merchandise, we were able to go outside and take some pictures. And that was the guy who played Alexander Hamilton. We was able to get his autograph. And this is us just taking pictures outside for memories. But after a while, it was time to get back on our flight. So, and y'all know I have to share some inspiration. So I just want you to continue to follow your dreams, follow your heart, let the Holy Spirit lead and guide you. And know that you already have whatever it takes to be great inside of you. Bye, guys.